Hello guys, what's up and welcome to today's trade recap. Today I wasn't able to find a trade entry because the price action for me was just too choppy, too unpredictable, and I was just not willing to force a trade. I wasn't feeling comfortable about the setup. My bias was initially bearish, and right now market is just moving higher and higher and higher. So yeah, let's just go over the confluences that that I saw. First of all, before market opened, we can see that we are in this huge 1 hour bearish fair value gap. And before market opened, you can see that we kept respecting this fair value gap. And therefore, I was also kind of bearish. I had a bearish sentiment overall, especially on the 15-minute time frame. We can see that we had these low resistance liquidities resting here, like we have one low after another that's just waiting to get taken out by the market. So my sentiment was definitely bearish. It's either I wanted to have a manipulation to the downside, to the upside, and then catch the move to the downside and take out immediately all these lows, including the London lows that we had right here. These were London lows, and but unfortunately, price opened up in a way after market open that didn't give me any confluences to take a short entry. And we can see this right now. Like I marked out these 15-minute highs up here, and all these 15-minute lows. I was just too lazy to mark out all of them. These were just high time frame lows. And market opened up. We first pushed to the downside. We swept out this 15-minute low. And I think on the 1 minute time frame, you can also have a better overview. So we were just chopping around, like we were taking liquidities out on both sides, buy side and on the sell side, just chopping around. And really, if you want, you can just circle all of this, and you see that literally before the macro time opened, it was just choppy price action. Like I wasn't able to find an entry whatsoever in this price action, and I also don't want to force an entry if I don't see my confluences. So this just already gave me a bad impression of the price action, and I was just like, okay, if I don't see now like clean moves establishing, I probably won't take a trade, because on Nasdaq it looked pretty similar. You can see that the first few minutes, like 15 to 20 minutes, it was just like not a nice price action. So yeah, basically we kept just chopping around until the macro time opened, and the only really like possible entry was a long entry, which is again against my bias. I told you I was very bearish. I wanted to see all these liquidities down here to get taken out. So I were preferably, I wanted to target these liquidities down here and not liquidities up here, because really we don't have liquidities up here. Like I don't see any highs that I can target. This is just a huge imbalance, a huge fair value gap, and where should I put my take profits? So ideally, I want to catch the short into these lows. So on the 1 minute time frame, after the macro opened, we can see that we get more and more response to the upside, more and more market structure shifts to the upside. The order flow became more bullish. We inversed bearish fair value gaps, the one that I marked out here. And at this point, I was willing to take a long entry if we get further confirmation confluences, like a breakout structure or a retest of this bullish fair value gap that we formed right here. But price never actually gave me further confluences. We didn't tap back into this bullish fair value gap after inversing this bearish fair value gap. So the only really confluence that I had in order to take my long entry would have been this inverse fair value gap, and to be exact, we inversed this bearish fair value gap only with this huge candle, and I didn't want to end up all the way here and place my stops underneath the sweep. As I said in my previous recaps, I don't like my entries when the stop loss is so far away from my entry. So I was just patiently waiting, hoping that after the inverse we will also retest this bullish fair value gap, which never happened, and then already we were heading towards high time frame highs. You can see this push was very impulsive, and yeah, when we were up here already, I wasn't willing to FOMO into my entry. Yeah, so I was just calling it a day. On the Nasdaq, it looked pretty similar. This is the 1 minute time frame. Again, we had bearish inverse fair value gaps right here, with this huge bullish candle breaking above this bearish fair value gap. And again, also here we formed a bullish fair value gap, but again, did we retest this zone? No. Did we somehow got an equilibrium? No. Did we just get a break of structure? No. I mean, yeah, we got a break of structure, but the next break of structure would have been up here. So do I want to enter up here really and move my stops underneath this sweep and maybe target these resting highs up here? Of course not, because the first high, it's not even giving me at least a 1-to-1 risk-reward ratio. At this point, it's like a 1 to 0.48 risk-reward ratio, and I don't want to take any partial profits on low resistance liquidities when my risk-reward ratio is that bad. So yeah, I was just calling it a day. Not only did we move against my bias in the bullish direction, on the 1 minute time frame, I also didn't get my confirmation confluences. So yeah, stay disciplined, don't force trades. You don't need to trade every single day. You know you're a good trader when you also not willing to take a trade. Just be like water. Try to adapt to the price action every single day. Try to don't force yourself into anything. Always try to adapt to the price action, and always see if you are able to find a nice entry with your confirmation confluences. Don't force anything. If we don't get a retest in the fair value gap, if we don't get an additional break of structure, if you don't see the confluences that you want to see, and then just decide to not take a trade. I know it's difficult for some people. Some people just still force trades, but this is exactly why most of them end up losing, because they don't stick to their strategy and they just force entries that they shouldn't have entered in the first place. So with that being said, for me it was no entry day today. I'm completely fine with that. I'm willing to sit in front of the charts tomorrow again. Maybe there will be a better opportunity to take a trade, but I didn't like price action today. I hope you guys learned something from today's trade recap. I hope you guys were able to take something away. Stay healthy. I appreciate you all, and see you in the next trade recap. Peace out.